All right, let's talk about this thing called manifestation. It reminds me of a story many years ago. Kim and I, we would go to these seminars. They would be these manifestation seminars. And I remember one in particular, it was about essentially how to become a millionaire. And we got all hyped up and we did all the things and spent thousands of dollars. But we had these mantras that we would sit and we'd post. And it was like, I create my life and I'm a money magnet and I'm a millionaire. And we did this day after day, enthusiastic, and we were affirming what we wanted in life. Well, that didn't happen at the time. And later on, we sit back and laugh because all we were doing was doing this mantra and expecting that we were going to have all of this income, even though we weren't doing the things necessary to become millionaires. We weren't reading books about money. We weren't talking to advisors about money. We weren't working harder and establishing businesses and putting aside savings. We were just going to manifest money. And so with, of course, life, there comes some wisdom. And then as you gain wisdom, some application. But let me just go through a little bit of this and why I'm bringing this up. This idea of manifestation is a hot topic these days. I remember back when The Secret first came out many, many years ago. In fact, my greatest mentor of all times right now, I found in the movie called The Secret. But what he taught us was the secret behind the secret that they left out of The Secret, because obviously that movie was to hit us in our pleasure mechanism and to get us to purchase and buy books and materials. And there were great ideas, but they didn't really give us the how. So I want to share with you the how, because I think you'd find that it's important to understand that this idea of manifestation isn't something you just think about and you just dream about and then it just happens. Or does it? So here's what I want to share with you. Everything in your life is happening as a result of you creating, whether you created something that you thought was good, if we want to label that way, or bad, whether it's constructive or destructive. You are either allowing it to happen in your life or you're directly responsible. Now, the things that you value in life, they manifest quite easily. But it's not that they really manifest. It's that you do the work necessary to see that it happens. You come up against a burden, you just work through it. You achieve it. But if it's a fantasy, or if you're injecting someone else's value and you want what others have, well, then you might have to be motivated to get it. In the courses that we're teaching, we spend one day on this idea of manifestation. We'll call it creation or creating, or at least understanding how you're creating the life you have, or how you're creating the life you don't want. And it's not a difficult process. We're going to go through that creative process with you. But let me share with you this. So in working an image, there's a few things that you might want to know. First, we take a series of ideas and then we create the image. It's made up of a bunch of ideas and you put it together. Now, an image is also a visual. And then we go through this process of, well, what do you need to attract in your life to obtain the image? My mentor from that movie, The Secret, he came up with this idea that the quality of your life is based on the quality of questions you ask. Well, the first day of our concept therapy course is dedicated to giving you the quality questions to ask in life so that you can create the idea, manifest the idea mentally, physically, or spiritually that you want. But it comes with asking the right questions. But more than that, then it comes up with developing the plan and the ability to organize, adapt, act, and reason on the image. Well, the reason we call it the creative process is because it's the same process that God used to create the universe. It's the principles that God used to create all of life and all the things in life. And then the laws behind how that happens. So just doing some affirmation every day without understanding these other ideas makes the manifestation process a bit more difficult. Here's what most people forget. There's an idea called it must be lawful. And if you look at that, lawful. Well, why the word lawful? Well, it has to be lawful because there's certain principles that you must follow in order to accomplish the manifestation, but also logical. You know what? The fact is, sometimes things just aren't logical. They're fantasies, and fantasies attract nightmares. But manifestation. So there is a formula. We're going to teach you the exact formula. We're going to teach you the idea of what it takes to create anything in your life. You're already doing it. It's just you recognize that which you desire as you manifested that. But then the things that you don't desire in life, you don't take credit for those. You didn't manifest that. Somebody else manifested that. So in our concept therapy course, the first day is outlining the creative process. A whole day of quality questions to get the things that you desire in life and how to do it without the fantasy, the rah-rah, the something for nothing. There's a process involved in that. And then I'll leave you with this idea. In the course, we teach you what Jesus taught. We taught the principles, or we teach the principles of ask and you will receive. Seek and you'll find. Knock and the door will be opened. This idea of creation, he gave us the principles and he gave us the laws behind it, but people aren't utilizing those. So if it's good enough to create the universe, it's good enough for you to create those things that you like in your life.